Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive with us. You know how much we love to pick apart a single piece of art or literature, and this time we're diving deep into a painting called Whispers.
Ooh, that sounds intriguing.
It is, it is. I think you'll like this one. Imagine two figures, all swirly green and ochre shapes, practically kissing against like this super vibrant red background.
Okay, I can see it.
Oh, and there's this tiny sphere right at the bottom center. Adds a whole other layer of mystery, don't you think?
Definitely. Sounds like there's a lot to unpack.
Absolutely. And to help us do that, we've got three different sources. We've got a YouTube video essay, a section from an art book, and even a review of that book. So we're getting perspectives from all angles.
Like we're putting together a puzzle with each source.
Exactly. And you know what I find so interesting about Whispers is how it sparks so many different interpretations. Like the YouTube video talks about non-duality. The figures embody this Zen principle of being both separate and connected at the same time. It makes you think, right?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, we all want to be individuals, but we're also part of something bigger, always linked to family, friends,
Right.
communities.
That's a great connection. And the art book kind of takes that idea a step further. It talks about how the figures have vegetal and humanoid contours, blurring the lines between humans and nature.
It's like the artist is asking us, where does one thing end and another begin? I mean, are
Yep.
we separate from nature or are we
Right.
all intertwined?
Right, exactly.
The book calls this impermanence of boundaries, which is such a powerful concept. It suggests everything is in flux, constantly changing and affecting everything else.
And that idea of impermanence, that interconnectedness, you see that pop up in so many different philosophies, from Buddhism to ancient Greek thought. Like, Heraclitus, he said, no man ever steps in the same river twice.
Oh, yeah.
He was talking about how everything's in a state of constant flow and change.
Wow, we just did a mini philosophy lesson. But it makes you think about how Whispers captures this idea of opposing forces interacting.
Totally. And speaking of forces, let's talk about the symbolism of color and form here. The YouTube video interprets that red background as the raw energy of life,
Makes sense.
but the art book describes it as ominous and vital. See how they both acknowledge that duality?
Oh, yeah. Like red can be passion, love, but also danger, anger,
Yeah.
right? It's a color that just grabs you and makes you feel something.
Exactly. It's powerful.
And then you've got green, which the YouTube video links to growth and transformation.
Right. And, red and green, they hold significant meaning across different cultures too, from hope to passion, vitality.
It's like the colors themselves bring their own stories to the painting, adding another layer of interpretation depending on who's looking at it.
It's true. Each viewer brings their own unique lens. It's a dynamic thing, isn't it?
It really is. Okay. So we've got these powerful colors, but then there's also that tension and harmony at play in the composition. The art book really highlights how the figures are leaning in towards each other, like they're about to either merge or clash.
You said it. It's like that moment right before a kiss or an argument. That anticipation makes you wonder where things are going.
I know, and you can't help but think about that tiny sphere at the bottom. What's its role in all of this?
Oh, the sphere.
Mhm.
The art book gives us two options. It's either the seed of their union or a tear distilled from the swirling forms.
Oh, wow, that's so interesting. I love that the book doesn't give us a straight answer. What do you think it represents?
Mm. Wow.
Let us know your thoughts and make sure to come back for part 2 because we're going to dig even deeper into the art book and the review's take on all of this. It gets really good.
Welcome back. It's great to dive back into Whispers with you. We covered a lot of ground in part one. Non-duality, the color symbolism.
Yeah, and that tension between the figures, right?
Absolutely. But now I think it's time to get a little closer. Zoom in on some of the details. The art book especially has some really interesting interpretations about the form and texture of those figures. Like it talks about curling tendrils and bulging nodules that almost form eyes and mouths.
It is strange, but it draws you in, doesn't it?
Totally. And the book goes on to describe this as the merging of vegetal and humanoid contours. Like you're seeing human features, but also elements of plants and nature all blended together.
I love how the book uses those really vivid descriptions. It's like when you look at those swirling forms, you can almost feel the rough bark of a tree or the delicate veins of a leaf.
Right. It makes you think about our relationship with nature. Are we as separate from it as we think? Or are we all just different expressions of the same, like, creative force?
It's a big question, especially now when we're thinking about how we impact the environment. And the
Bet.
art book doesn't shy away from that tension either. Remember that description of the red background? Ominous and vital, like embers banked behind a wall of vines.
Yeah, that was a powerful one. That image of potential danger, but also that energy, that life force, it all comes back to red, doesn't it?
I know, it's like that perfect visual metaphor for creation and destruction, for growth and decay. It's all there in the background. And you see that same tension mirrored in the figures themselves. That embrace, is it harmony? Or are they about to clash?
And the art book just leaves that question hanging. It's up to us to consider the possibilities,
Mm.
but it's interesting to think back to that YouTube video and its mention of the I Ching hexagram 31 influence. That idea of energies meeting and sometimes clashing, sometimes harmonizing. It feels relevant here, doesn't it?
Like the painting is a mini version of that same interplay we see in the world around us. But what I think is so cool about the art book is it doesn't just say, this is the meaning, this is the interpretation. It presents all these different perspectives. It makes you think for yourself.
Exactly, and the book review picks up on that. It praises how the book transforms strokes of ink and paint into narratives of self-discovery and universal truths.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just about what the artist was thinking, it's about how we connect with it, how we make our own meaning.
It's like the painting becomes a starting point for your own personal journey. You bring your own life, your own beliefs, and suddenly you discover something new, something about yourself. Okay, but we can't move on without talking about that sphere again. What do you make of it?
Oh, the sphere, so full of possibilities. The art book gives us two options: a seed of their union, or a tear distilled from the swirling forms. Such powerful imagery, right?
I know. The seed makes you think of potential growth, new beginnings, and then the tear, that's about emotional intensity, maybe even pain or loss. Like it captures both sides of connection.
Exactly. It's that ambiguity that makes this piece so captivating. It doesn't just hand you the answer. It asks you to lean into the mystery to find your own meaning.
Like the artist wants you to be part of the creative process.
You got it. And the book review emphasizes this. It's saying that the art book isn't just about interpreting this one painting. It uses whispers as a way to talk about bigger ideas: Zen Buddhism, existentialism, even the Tao Te Ching.
Wow, I'm really curious to see how they connect those ideas. Let's get philosophical in part 3. Okay, so we're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into whispers. We've talked about symbolism and tension and all that ambiguity, but the book review mentions some pretty heavy stuff. Zen Buddhism, existentialism, even the Tao Te Ching. I have to admit, I'm really curious to see how those ideas connect to this painting.
You know, it's interesting because the art book doesn't just focus on one philosophy. It's like it's pulling from different traditions, weaving them together to create a richer understanding of whispers.
So it's less about finding one right answer and more about exploring different ways of looking at it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, take Zen Buddhism. It's all about embracing the present moment, right?
Yeah.
Finding enlightenment in just like being.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. The figures in whispers, they're frozen in that moment of potential. Not quite merged, not quite separate. It's like the painting itself is a meditation on that in-between space.
It's like the artist wants us to just stop and observe, to just be present with all that ambiguity and tension. And then there's the Tao Te Ching, with its emphasis on balance and the interplay of opposites, yin and yang.
Right, right. We talked about that before with the colors, the tension and harmony. It's like those Taoist principles are built right into the composition.
Totally. Whispers captures that dance between light and dark, creation and destruction, masculine and feminine. It's a visual representation of how those seemingly opposite forces are actually connected.
So we've got these Eastern philosophies, but what about the Western side of things? The review mentioned existentialism.
Yeah, and existentialism is all about those big questions: freedom, responsibility, finding meaning in a world that can sometimes feel kind of absurd. The review talks about how the art book connects those existential themes to the viewer's role in interpreting the painting.
So it's not just about what the artist intended, but about how we, the viewers, create our own meaning. We bring our own experiences to it, our own anxieties, our own search for meaning.
Exactly. We're not just sitting back and watching. We're actively shaping the narrative. And that brings up another existential idea: authenticity.
Authenticity. I'm not sure I follow you.
Well, existentialism argues that we create meaning through our choices and actions. So when we engage with art, when we try to understand it and form our own interpretations, we're saying something about who we are, what we believe in.
So it's like understanding the art is a way of understanding ourselves. It's a reflection of what's going on inside.
Precisely. And Whispers, with all its open-endedness, it really pushes that existential side.
It's like the artist is saying, Embrace the unknown. Sit with uncertainty. Wrestle with the tough questions. And in doing that, we learn something not just about the art, but about ourselves.
You got it. This deep dive has taken us on quite the journey, hasn't it? From brushstrokes and colors to some pretty deep philosophical ideas.
It's amazing how much one painting can spark all this conversation. It's like we peeled back the layers of whispers and found something universal about what it means to be human.
And remember how the review said that the images in the art book are like meditations on existence itself? That really captures what we've been exploring, right? Whispers isn't just a painting. It's a reflection of our own search for connection, for meaning, for understanding in a world that's full of mystery.
It's been an incredible journey, and we hope you enjoyed the deep dive with us. If you have a chance, definitely look up Whispers online and see it for yourself. Let it speak to you, let it challenge you, let it inspire your own interpretations.
Because in the end, the most meaningful interpretations are the ones we discover ourselves.
That's the beauty of art, and that's what we love to explore here on the deep dive. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep diving.